Hey everyone, has this ever happened to you? Come on, you stupid thing.
Why are you like this?
Well, we're going to address that on the channel today with these TMR Customs door hinge repair. All right, everyone. So what happens on these Jeeps, in every Jeep, and it's a Jeep thing, is the hinges just get grody after years of whatever road debris and all that. They just get stuck in there. You take the nuts off the bottom, and you just can't get the doors off to save your life. So the first thing we're going to address is how to get the doors off your Jeep if they're stuck, because that is an issue. So let me grab some tools and we'll get started. All right, so your doors are stuck on your Jeep. Go ahead and unhook your wiring harness and your cable that keeps the door from opening too far. And make sure when you do this to be careful that this doesn't swing out and hit the cowl right here. That's like a known problem on the Jeeps. You'll see Jeeps with little dents right here, and what's happened is the mirror has spun around because now the door can go all the way open, and it dents that cowl. You can buy little rubber pieces that go right here. A lot of times you'll see those on Jeeps, and a lot of times that's covering up a dent that's already there. So just, we're in the shop here, so there's no wind, but on a windy day or whatever, you need to be careful with that. I'm actually going to fold the mirror in a little bit. And go ahead and first disconnect everything down here. And to do that, you're going to lift your strap off the little hook right here. Sometimes that is incredibly aggravating and will make you want to scream at something. And then just unplug your wiring harness up underneath the dash right here. All right, so we got that unhooked. The door is free to swing. Like I said, be careful. It will swing all the way around like this, clearly. Take your wires into your door pockets, what I usually do. Now, the door is still stuck. You got your nuts off.
That's what she said.
And now you got to try to get this thing unstuck. You can use a little penetrating oil on here, but penetrating oil sometimes will eat paint, especially if it's the kind that's got like acetone in it. I've had pretty good luck with PB Blaster not doing it too bad, but it's still not. Just be easy on the penetrating oil. I'll show you a little bit better way, what I think is a little bit better way. I'm going to take my floor jack here, and I have a high lift, one of the really good ones from Harbor Freight, which I really like. And I put a 2x4 on it, and I'll bring it down here and show you. Basically, what you want to do is put this 2x4 long ways on the base of the door on the very flat part. There's just enough width under there to get that 2x4 there. You might have to finagle your jack a little bit. And it's kind of sketchy, won't lie. But once you get it kind of in the right spot, you'll see what I mean. It'll kind of settle in there up against the weather stripping. And ever so gently put a little bit of up pressure on this thing. You're not trying to jack up your daggone Jeep with the door. If you see the thing starting to move, you got too much pressure on it. You just want a little bit of up pressure on it. I'll show you a quick look at what it looks like under there. All right, there you go. You can see it. It's on the base of the door right here. This is a flat surface. And we're just going to put just a smidge of up pressure on it. Just a smidge. All right, so you got a little bit of up pressure on there. Now your hinges are still stuck, of course, right? They got years of grime and junk in them. So what do you do now? I'm going to take a little brass punch and hit up on this thing. Let me show you what I'm using. All right. A little brass punch and a brass hammer. Now, these threads in here, unfortunately my Jeep, the previous owner, took these off and never put them back on, so my threads are horrible, and we're going to talk about that. But these are only a 6mm by 1.0, so you really don't need to be going ham on these things. That's not much of a thread at all. Brass is softer than the metal, so it will not hurt the threads. If you can get your hands on one of these, I'd recommend it. And we're just going to tap it. Just tap it in. Just trying to vibrate that hinge a little bit. Get it to start moving. You might have to try to put a little more up pressure on it, and it's just a balance. You're going to have to go back and forth a few times. Okay. I don't know if y'all can see this on camera, but mine has gapped out just a touch right there, so it is moving. No penetrating oil, again, because I don't really want to spray it on the paint. But now if you wanted to put a little penetrating oil in, now's a good time because it can actually get down in there. And I'm just going to put a little bit more up pressure on the jack, but I think it's getting ready to come. Let's try a little bit more up pressure. There it went. There it went. It let go right then. All right. So we're going to grab the door. Door's pretty heavy. And wiggle it straight up. Now, I have right here beside me a body shop. I don't know what you want to call it, a body shop sawhorse that I'm going to set this door on, right? That's going to hold that door for me because my threads are so boogered up on this thing. We're going to address that too. All right. I got one door off, 3 to go. So now let's get our kit from TMR. Oh, that's so gross. Anyway, let's get our kit from TMR and get after it. All right, guys, doors off. Now the fun begins. The kit comes with this really cool tool right here. And this is going to save your butt. So now's a good time if you want to get a little bit more lubricant on there, penetrating oil. Again, I don't try not to use it. And you want to get the tool started in the bottom. It'll sort of fit up in there. Little ridge. And you got to beat this liner out right here. And if you have a Jeep that's been in a rusty environment, snowy environment, something like that, down at the beach, salty environment, these things can really not like to come out of there. You'll have to beat them more than you think you will. And sometimes the bottom ones are really bad because you can't get a swing on them. So I'm still going to continue to use my brass hammer just because I don't mess nothing up. And this hammer's kind of light. I think it's only 4 ounces. So it's not going to give me a lot of hit, but it also will keep me from, hopefully, keep me from smacking into my paint. So, wish me luck. Here we go. Starting at the bottom. This one's already moving. Good grief. But try not to do that. Get a little bit more. Right. You see that one coming up, right? Oh, yeah. Pop out of there. Now, generally, these like to shoot across the room. Woohoo! Now, let me show you what I mean. Can y'all see all that grody, like, rust and just junk on there? That's your old door liner. That's what was keeping you from taking your door off and making it stick and all that. So that needs to... All right, let me get this bottom one out, which is always harder. Boop. This thing's being a real pain. You just can't swing. I'm gonna take this little bitty chisel. I had to do this before on another Jeep and it was a nightmare. And I'm gonna start at the top and just sort of fold it in a little bit where you can get some oil down in there and see if you can try to just get the stupid thing to move. Fold it in there like a taco, see what happens. So here we go. Oh yeah, let's see if I can get the camera in here where y'all can see this. Oh, will it focus? Yeah. So I just folded that top in just a little bit. And we're going to keep doing that until we kind of, like I said, sort of fold it in there like a taco. Just be gentle. The name of the game with these things is patience. All right, everybody, this one's being a real pain. I was about to take the hinge off, which you really don't want to do. You don't have to. You just can't swing a hammer. So what I ended up doing was taking a little chisel, and let me see if I can find this old one so I can try to give you a visual what I'm doing here. It's got this kind of ridge right here, okay? I took that chisel and I folded that thing all the way in until that ridge was inside of itself. And then, instead of driving it out from the bottom like you're supposed to do, I'm having to drive it out from the top. I can actually hit it. See, there it goes. Well, you can probably see it. Look how gross that thing is. Good grief. Wow. So, if you're watching this and you're having trouble with your bottom hinge, be gentle. You sure don't want to gouge into your paint with a chisel, but you can fold that top in like I did right there and then beat it down, which gives you a whole lot better swing. All right. The hard part's over. Well, for one door. We only got to do this 3 more times. Your new liners are plastic, so they won't get all grossed up like this right here. And you don't want to hit them in with a hammer. You want to push them in with your hands. So both of these, see how that one's going in nice and easy, just like that. And it's flush. This one, as suspected, because the hole was so gross trying to come out with the old one. What we're going to have to probably do, you're going to need like a Dremel with a little wire brush on it or a little rat tail file. Ooh boy, the saga of the bottom hole continues. Got a little bitty cut brush on this Dremel. Should go right down in there. And we'll just run it through that hole real quick. Oh yeah, I don't know if y'all can see on camera all that stuff that's coming out of there. All that grody-ness. Woo. All right. And I believe we will put just a dab of anise on it too. So now anise is a funny thing. A speck 1/millionth of a billionth of an inch will actually stretch all the way to the moon. So you don't have to go too ham on it. I'm just going to put a little bit on there and twist it. There we go. All right. She went down flush. All right. Now you put your door back on. Now, there's a second part of this video. Again, I think I said it already, the original owner of this Jeep must have took these doors off at some times, and the nuts that are normally down here, the Torx head nuts, they never put them back on. None of my doors have them. This one doesn't have them. This one doesn't have them. I don't know why. So the threads are just god-awful on there. So we're going to actually discuss that next and go to that part of the video next. But if you're watching this just to do the TMR door hinges, you're done. Put your door back on, put your things back on, your nuts back on, and go on with your life. And you got to do it 2, 4, 6 more times. So good for you. All right. So your threads are messed up on your things, on your door hinges. These are the little nuts that mine didn't have on it, little Torx head. And these are a 6mm by 1.0. Now, here in front of me, I have my Matco thread chaser set. This is a great set. And I know Matco probably doesn't make this. I'm pretty sure you can get it in several different brands. But it has a M6 by 1.0 thread chaser. Now, a thread chaser is different than a tap and die. You wouldn't really want to use a die because you're not trying to take material away. You're just trying to clean up those threads. So we're going to take our M6 by 1.0 and we're going to find a little socket that fits it in 6-point, and we're going to move over here to the door. All right, everybody. I got the door laid on. This is a body shop sawhorse. I don't know exactly what you want to call them. I worked on Ford vehicles for a long time, and they went through a rash of window regulator motors, and it was so aggravating to change them on a vehicle. I bought one of these things from Astro Tool or somewhere 1,000 years ago, and I would just take the door off and lay it on here, right? And it would hold the door for me. So in this case, though, I want to flip the door over. I drop it. But if you don't have one of these fancy little things, you don't have to have one. You could do it on your daggone kitchen table, I suppose, if you wanted to. And I'll turn it so the threads are facing the camera. Like that. Okay, you can see our threads right here. Let's see. You see what I'm working with right here. Now, I'm not sure how good the camera's going to pick it up, but you can see that those threads are kind of gnarly. Clearly have gotten years of road grime on them. That's kind of disappointing. But, so there's our little thread chaser, and I'm just going to kind of start it on there best I can by fingers. Okay, good. And then I got 1/4 inch drive, 13 millimeter, like just nut driver. Basically, I'm just going to run it up on there till it stops. Real gentle. You don't want to go, you're not trying to torque this thing down. And I might do this back and forth a couple times. With my hand, it's loose enough. All right, see how that looks. That look better? Much better. Much, much better. I like it. I like it a lot. So much better. All right, now do the other side. Same thing. Little 6 millimeter 1.0. This one doesn't look as bad, actually, which is surprising because that's the bottom hinge. That's the one that the liner gave me so much trouble with. Run it up a few times, loosen it up. Man, look at that. Wow, that's fantastic. That's fantastic. All right, let's grab one of the actual, like, nuts from Jeep. This is one of the new little ones here. Oh, yeah, like butter. Awesome. All right, and that's it. You put new liners in. We've straightened out our threads on the door hinge nuts there. And I'm going to put just a dab, a smidge, just a little bit of anti-seize just on these things right there. That's way too much. Perfect. Okay. Oh, gosh. This stuff's like cancer. You get a little bit on you. It's everywhere. Oh, made a mess of that, too. All right. Let's wipe that off. This is high temp anti-seize, too, so it will be there for the next 2,000-ish years. But that should, in theory, the next time we take the doors off, let us just pop the doors right off. So let's grab the door and stick it back on there. Oh, my Lanta. Okay. Now, this kind of gets tricky sometimes. Trying to line all this back up. Get it in there. Something like that. Boom. Woo, look at that. Look how nice it swings too now. And again, don't go flinging the door open because you're going to dent your thing there. Go ahead and put your strap back on. Oh yeah, we are in business. In business. Look at that. All right, so you're just going to put your 2 little torque nuts back on there. If you have the handy kit that came with your Jeep, which I do in the glove box somewhere. Anyway, you just use your Torx and tighten those back up. And then just do it 6 more times. Yay me. Anyway, I hope that was helpful. It's not particularly a hard project. It's just more aggravating than anything, especially when those like that bottom one wouldn't come out and I had to fold it in and drive it out backwards. Just be patient. Take your time. And if you have those things, put them back in there, dang it, people. And we will see you next time.